Welcome back to a Faster PC live support. I know you've been waiting all week for this show. Well, you don't have to wait any longer. Get excited. This time, this is exciting. We're actually going to be helping people resolve their computer problems. We may help you resolve your computer problems. So give us a call, 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590. Or you can head over to our Facebook or YouTube video. Either go to Facebook, search for a Faster PC. We have almost 23,000 likes. Go to YouTube. YouTube channel is kind of new, and we don't have as many likes over there, but get over there and you can watch the show there as well. Or you can head to our website at fasterpc.com. We have links to both our Facebook page and our YouTube channel where you can watch this show in its entirety. And you know what? If you're driving down the road, you're doing other things, you're not able to watch right now, you'll be able to watch the show in its entirety at your convenience after the show is over. So, but if you have a computer question, if you have a computer problem, if something's not working, now is your chance to get your problem solved for free. Give us a call, 772-340-1590, and let's see whether we can help you on this show resolve your computer problem. Also, we do have technicians that are standing by in the shop ready to resolve computer problems. And we'll be there today until 2, but you don't have to wait until then. Remember, computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
That's right, we are back. I know you've been waiting, and we're here. We're ready to answer your questions, ready to help you resolve those computer problems and technology problems. It can be, it doesn't just have to be with computers. It can be anything technology related. We're here. We're ready to answer your questions, ready to help you resolve your problems. And that's what we do here on this show. And of course, that's also what we do at a Faster PC. We have actually solved over 50,000 computer and technology problems, and we have eliminated over 1 million viruses in our history. And whatever the problem that you're facing, maybe we can help you on this show. And if it sounds a little bit, we'll try to explain it in a way that makes sense to you and makes sense to other people listening. And if it sounds a little bit too complicated, well, a Faster PC can help and can help you resolve your problems. And we're going right to the lines, wasting no time at all. Earl has called in to a Faster PC live technical support. How can we help you today, Earl?
Yes, good morning. I had just recently purchased a brand new HP with a desktop with Windows 11, and I downloaded and I put a couple things on that I had. All of a sudden, my speed, I have excessive speed with Comcast or Xfinity.
Yes.
It runs anywhere around 900 to 1,000 Mbps, and it worked fine. Then all of a sudden, it slowed down to nothing.
Okay.
I called HP, and HP, they wanted technical support. They want to try to charge you for that, but I didn't want to pay that. And what I just did is I rebooted the computer back to the factory settings.
Yes.
Back up. It's working fantastic now.
Okay, so you rebooted your computer to factory settings.
I'm sorry?
You reset your computer to factory settings or the router?
No, I actually thought it when the speed slowed down to nothing.
Right.
So I thought it was the router.
Right.
And then I changed the cable, and it was still on a slow speed.
Okay.
I ran a speed test, and what I finally did, since it was a brand new computer, I just brought it back to factory settings.
You brought your computer. You brought your computer back to factory settings. Is that correct?
at the speed I want. But my question is, it has both McAfee and Norton on it.
Oh, that will definitely cause your computer to slow down.
Virus comes with the new computer. Can you run both of them at the same time?
Well, only if you want your computer to run very slowly. That's the only way you should use both of them at the same time. And obviously, you were experiencing a problem with the computer slowing down, and that'll do it. And one thing that we see quite often, I mean, we see this probably, in the shop. Probably we see this on about maybe 10 or 20% of the computers that come in with virus infections will actually have two antivirus programs, and one of them will be have an expired it will be expired so that it's not actually providing any protection at all. And that McAfee is only if it came with the computer, it's only going to protect for 30 days. What some people do is they just keep it on the computer, but if you keep it on the computer and then you install another one, each antivirus is going to take about a 10% hit on the performance of your computer. So, two of them will probably take even more than a 20% hit on your computer, and that will definitely slow your computer down. So, what you want to do is you want to uninstall that McAfee, and I'll show how to do that. I don't have McAfee installed on this computer, but I can show really the steps that you would go through. So with Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11, the quickest way to get to the control panel is to hold down the Windows key on the keyboard. That's the key that looks like a four-pane window. It's to the left of the Alt key, in most cases, to the left of the space bar. You have an Alt key, and then to the left of that, you have a Windows key on most computers. Hold down the Windows key and press R. That brings up the Run command, and type Control. Control, and hit enter. That launches the control panel. Now, by default, your control panel is going to be in the category setting. So over there, you can click on Uninstall a Program. I like to change it to the large icon, so I see all the individual, many of the individual entries or control panel uh, control panel functions listed separately. I click on programs and features. I can then you can then, if you're sorting by name, you'll go through down to where you get to the M's to McAfee, and you can actually uninstall it. So that's what you would want to do is just click on it and then click uninstall. Again, I don't have McAfee installed on my computer, but that's the way you would do it. You would follow the steps. Now, you might see more than one entry for McAfee because you'll have the McAfee antivirus or LifeSafe or whatever they call it. And then you'll also have a web portion, and I would uninstall both of those. You may also, after you do that, you may, by the way, need to reboot, but you can also click the start button, and then you can click the gear. When you click the gear here, that takes you into settings. Now with Windows 11, it's going to be a little bit different. When you click on start, you'll have to click on settings in the start window. Microsoft has moved things around and done things a little bit differently. But you're going to want to look for apps and click on that, and then look through the apps and see if McAfee is there, because quite often there's a McAfee app and also a McAfee program that you'll see in the programs and features section of the control panel. So in addition to uninstalling it from from the control panel, you'll also want to uninstall it from over here, and you'll scroll through the list until you see McAfee. Again, I don't have it installed on my computer, but if I did, it would be here. You would click on it and click uninstall, and allow it to uninstall. So that's how you would do that. And it's basically just getting rid of the software that comes with it. If you're not going to use it, get rid of it. And by the way, the Microsoft Defender does a better job of protecting your computer from viruses and infections than McAfee does. So why would you pay for it in the first place? Well, some people like McAfee. They like the advertising, or maybe they've used it in the past. So, I understand, but it's not something that it's not going to help you, and it's not going to do a better job than the Microsoft Defender. And you're better off just doing it. And definitely, if you're going to use Norton, you don't want to have both of them on there because it will slow your computer down. And that might be the reason that you were experiencing the slowness on your system. So,
I,
go ahead.
I do have a Norton.
Yes.
You think Norton's better than McAfee?
Norton is definitely better than McAfee. Questionable whether Norton is better than Microsoft Defender, because really the tests that I have seen lately show that Microsoft Defender outperforming all of the paid versions of antivirus. So that's something that's a big change. Microsoft has made tremendous improvements in the last few years in their performance, but they are definitely better than McAfee. So if I were going to choose one or the other, I would definitely choose McAfee. Or excuse me, Norton. Faster PC Radio here, heard every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour right here on this station and stream live to our Facebook page. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, ready to answer your computer questions. So you know what? If you have questions, well, we can't answer them unless you ask them. Our number, if you want to have your computer questions answered, is 772-340-5090. 772-340-5090. Also, you can type your questions into the comment section of our live Facebook video that's happening right now over at Facebook. You can go there, search for Faster PC. We have almost 23,000 likes, or you just go to our website, afasterpc.com, click on the link to listen to a Faster PC radio. We're here. We're ready to answer your computer questions, and we'll be right back to do that. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC. This is Brian Longworth, host of A Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, A Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to A Faster PC, or A Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in-shop and on-site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC has been here, and as Florida begins to open for business,
The Faster PC.
will remain open to repair computers 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and 9 to 2 Saturdays. We offer curbside drop-off and pickup and on-site service where a Faster PC can come to you. And we can fix many computer problems remotely without requiring any in-person contact. A Faster PC is also working to help our customers set up remote access so that employees can continue to work and be productive from home. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC is conveniently located at 7190 South US 1 next to the new Dollar General in Port St. Lucie, and on the web at
www.afasterpc.com.
that's www.afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. Again, that's 772-878-5978. Even in times like these, when you have computer problems,
You need a Faster PC.
Welcome back to a Faster PC Radio. I know you've been waiting, well, a whole few minutes for the next segment of today's show. If you've been waiting to give us a call so that you can get your computer question answered, well, now's a great time to give us a call. Give us a call. The number here at the studio is 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590. Of course, if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to call and be on the radio. This is your opportunity, by the way, if you do want to be on the radio. But if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to be on the radio, you don't want people to hear what you say, then you can actually head over to our Facebook video. It's a live Facebook video going on right now. You can head over there. Just go to www.afasterpc.com, click on the link to listen to a Faster PC Radio. That'll take you to our Facebook page, or you can go to Facebook, search for a Faster PC. You'll find our page. We have between 22 and 23,000 likes. You'll be able to actually get over there, scroll down on the page a little bit. You'll see the live video, and you can type your question into the comment section. Now, your question doesn't have to be on what we've been talking about. It can be on any topic as long as it's computer related. So head over there and you can be on the show, or just give us a call, 772-340-1590. We did also want to remind you that we have technicians standing by ready to resolve computer problems. Our number in the shop is 772-878-5978, and we are located at 7190 South US 1 in Port St. Lucie. Again, the number is 772-878-5978. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
That's right, you do. And we are back ready to answer your computer and technology questions. And we do have Earl still on the line with us. Of course, you can join us and you can be a part of this as well. So give us a call here, 772-340-1590, or again, head over to one of the live Facebook or YouTube channel, and you can actually type your question into the comment section. So we're going right now back to Earl. And by the way, as we were going out to the break, I did have a little bit of a I was explaining how Norton is better than McAfee, but I actually said that I would choose McAfee over Norton. I tried to correct it, but I think we were already going out to the break. So just to clarify and make sure you understand, Norton is better than McAfee, in my opinion, and I believe that there are independent antivirus testing that will show that. So, Earl, welcome back to a Faster PC Radio. How can we? What additional questions do you have here?
Okay. Well, thank you. Take my call. The one question you said about Microsoft has a great virus program.
Yes.
Now, do you have to maintain that? Like McAfee, at Norton, they ask you to do scans periodically. Is that something that's automatically done with Microsoft, or do you have to go to a particular site and do it manually? Or?
No, it's going to happen automatically. Basically, what happens, all of the antivirus programs will scan any file that you open. And then periodically they'll scan files. You know, if you go into a folder on your computer, it's going to scan files in that folder. Periodically, it's going to scan folder files. I actually use the Microsoft Defender, and if we click on the Start button from Windows 10, again, the process will be a little bit different in Windows 11. In Windows 11, Microsoft's moved the Start button over a little bit, and when you click on Start, you will see tiles. I forget exactly how many tiles, whether it's like 20 or 25, somewhere around 30, somewhere around in there. But one of those will, on that first page, unless you've moved it, will be settings. It'll look like a gear or a sprocket. So we're going to click there, and so we have settings that we're opening up there, and so what we're doing here, we have settings opened up, and then you know what? Actually, Microsoft includes this in a different location. So let me show you how to get there. In the lower right hand corner, what you're going to want to look for is you're going to look for a shield. And you see my shield has a little exclamation point with a triangle with an exclamation point. So I'll click on that. That'll open that up. Now, there is typically there's app and browser control that typically you can turn on. Mine's already turned on. They do want me to use a Microsoft account, which is why this shows an exclamation point. And they're saying virus protection. They want me to use OneDrive. So so but the virus protection, we can click on this and it'll actually scan for infections automatically. You can run a quick scan. There's also scan options where you can run a full system scan. Um, there is also options to some extent where you can actually turn this on even if you have another antivirus, you can turn it on. I won't see that setting because I don't have another protection software, but there are settings where you can actually turn it on even if you have another protection. And you see real-time protection is on, cloud delivery protection is on. So these are all by default. You can have exclusions if there are certain files that you want to exclude from scans. Sometimes, I mean, one of the things, it will pick up certain things, and any antivirus program will pick up certain things that thinks are a virus that may not be a virus. And, you would only want to put an exclusion if you're really sure that the file is safe. But but anyway, there's Microsoft. There's notification settings. There's various settings that you can click in here and change. But this will it does do a good job. In a recent cybersecurity seminar that I went to, um, eh, they they looked at all of the different threats that this one company that provides cybersecurity protection. They actually found of most of the files that they found, most of the antivirus programs did not detect these files, and the one that detected most of them was the Microsoft Defender, the Windows Defender. It actually detected detected about 43% or 47%, and and some of the big name brands were down below 10%. It was amazing at the ineffectiveness of some of these protection programs, and so the Microsoft Defender does a really good job, and pairing it with something like Malwarebytes, uh, it even makes it even better because Malwarebytes can be configured so that it works alongside the Windows Defender, so that hopefully you can get above 50% detection rate. Obviously, 50% detection rate's not very good, but it's way better than any of the other competitors. And of course, it's free. Microsoft Defender is free, which is pretty amazing that you can actually have a better product for free than what you can get when you're paying for the product.
Oh, okay. I'm going to take a look at that. One quick other quick question is, have you ever heard of the Fix Me stick?
Yeah, I have.
Plug into it's been popping up on social media quite often.
Yeah. Well,
Plug
especially if you
USB
go to their page, if you go to their page, what happens quite often when you go to a certain website to look at something, they have what's called a Facebook pixel, and that shows that it saves a little cookie to your computer and shows that you've been to their website. So then what they can do is that company can pay Facebook to show ads to people that have been to their website. So it's a very effective way of advertising. You're able to target ads to people that have already been to your website but maybe didn't purchase. So but so so just because you're seeing the ads doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good thing. I wouldn't use it, but you know I know it's advertised, and I know it sounds like, hey, you just stick this in your computer and it scans and it cleans up things, and I really, I don't have any personal experience with it, but it's not something that I would put a lot of stock into. I
Yeah,
probably definitely
agree.
wouldn't pay for it either.
I read some reviews that once they used it, they couldn't go back to operating, and they had to reset it back to factory and all that. So
Yeah,
I was just
that could
what
be a
you,
mess. That can be a
yeah,
problem.
what you thought of it.
Yes. All
All
right.
right. Appreciate your help and all that, and I love the show.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, Earl talked a little bit earlier in the last segment about how he got a new computer. He made some changes to it. It was fast in the beginning, and then it slowed down. So, that's one of the things when something slows down, when a computer slows down, when you start having a problem, you want to kind of troubleshoot and determine what happened, what changed, and thankfully in this case he had just gotten in the computer, so there wasn't a lot of changes that he had made. So he must have done like a factory reset to the computer, and that brought it back to its original settings, and then everything was operating properly. And he probably installed Norton with McAfee, and that probably is what caused it to run slowly. But those are some troubleshooting steps. First of all, it would help even in Norton, and Earl now knows, and you now know, everyone out there knows, based on because of this call with Earl, everyone out there knows the what the situation is, and knows how to avoid this by not going out there and enabling this or using two antivirus programs, because it will slow your computer down. But when you're dealing with slow computers, it's important to kind of look and make determinations. We have, we mentioned a few weeks ago where we had a customer that actually called up and said, my computer is running slowly, and I think I need to get a faster processor. And we showed, well, he didn't need a faster processor. He just needed a SSD drive. And he, brought his computer in. We did an SSD drive, put an SSD drive in there. And by the way, he did a remote support session with us ahead of time, where we actually went in, and what we did is, I'll actually switch back over to a full screen. By the way, I've switched over to a full screen 2 or 3 times during this show to actually demonstrate some things on the screen. So if you've missed out on the Facebook or YouTube videos, you can watch them right after the show's over, or whenever you're available or able, you can actually watch them. But I launched the task manager, and you can do that by holding down the control key, the shift key, and the escape key on the computer. So if you hold down the control and shift and then press escape, that'll launch the task manager. You can also right click on the taskbar, go up to task manager and left click, or right click on the Windows button in the lower left hand corner of the screen, unless you've moved it, and left click on task manager. So when you go into task manager, this will show you the processor, the percentage of the processor being used, the percentage of the RAM being used, percentage of the hard drive, and percentage of the network. Now, one thing, when we look at the processor, my processor, is in the mid 60s to mid 70s, and that's because I'm streaming. And by the way, if you've been watching this show, you probably have seen sometimes it's up at 100%. Well, I've changed some settings on my streaming platform and actually brought it down, which has helped, and it has helped give me the resources to make the streaming um, run more smoothly without taxing on my system. But typically, it wouldn't be a good thing typically if your processor were running this high. And if his processor, mine just went up, to 80% or more. If your processor is running that high, typically, you're probably taxing out your processor. And in most cases, there's really not a lot you can do to change your processor, especially some of the motherboards, especially if it's a laptop, it's actually soldered to the motherboard. So you're stuck with that processor. Um, in a desktop computer, yeah, if you bought a big name brand computer, you're going to be, dependent on what processors that motherboard manufacturer, that computer manufacturer is going to support through a firmware update. they really are not going to have a high incentive to want you to upgrade because they want you to replace your computer. But in most cases, this processor, unless you have a slow processor, this processor, percentage will be much lower. But the RAM percentage is in good shape. Now, sometimes what I find is that on this first screen, and the disk percentage will be low, but if you go over to performance, sometimes you'll see 100% on the C drive, and that for whatever reason, it doesn't always show up on the processes tab, but on the performances tab, you can actually narrow down and see a graph of the various components of the computer. And when we see right at boot up or when you launch a program, the C drive at 100%, what we're seeing is a platter hard drive that is running slowly. And the cure for that is an SSD drive, a solid state drive. This particular customer that had the computer that thought he needed a faster processor, and we showed him, well, it's your hard drive. He brought it in. We did the SSD upgrade. When he got it home, he called back and he was just ecstatic that his computer was running so much faster than what it had in the past, and he was thrilled. He probably couldn't have installed the processor he wanted to install, but if he did, it wouldn't have solved this problem. But he came to us. We helped diagnose and actually replaced what needed to be replaced to speed up his computer. You're listening to a Faster PC radio heard on this station every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back for the final segment of today's show. Listen, if you want to get your computer questions answered and you haven't called in, now's your opportunity. In fact, this is your last opportunity coming up, 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590. You can also head over to our Facebook page, and you can actually, from the Facebook page, you can type your computer questions into the comment section of the live video, and we'll cover them on today's show. But you know what? You've got to get over there right now or give us a call, 772-340-1590, so we can answer your computer questions. Port St. Lucie. Computer problems? Again, the number. You need a faster PC. From the founding of our company, a Faster PC has provided our customers with quality service and computer products at competitive prices. We find that in the current economy, this is more important than ever. A Faster PC recently conducted a market survey and found that our prices are the least expensive in the area. Some of our competitors charge twice what we charge. Perhaps that's why more customers are turning to a Faster PC. We're helping our customers save money by repairing their computers rather than replacing them.
Now, wait a minute. You mean a Faster PC saves customers money?
A Faster PC offers the most competitive prices for computer repair in our area.
Wait a minute. Technicians that know what they're doing for less than the competition?
That's right. A Faster PC can handle anything from software installs, virus, spyware, and malware, and those annoying pop-ups to QuickBooks, Metisoft, and SoftIn support, from wireless networks to hardware networks. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
Conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. Call 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
This is Brian Longworth, host of a Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, a Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to a Faster PC, or a Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in-shop and on-site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
Welcome back to a Faster PC Radio. This is the last segment of today's show. We'd love to answer your computer questions, But if you don't call, we can't answer. Give us a call. The number to have your computer question answered is 772 340 1590. 772 340 1590. Or you can hop on over to our Facebook page, A Faster PC, and actually from there, you can type your question into the comment section. So, again, just a few more minutes to answer your questions. We did want to remind you also that not only can you ask your questions at the Facebook page or by calling 772 340 1590, but you can also watch the video as well. So some of the questions that I'm answering, as I answer those questions, I'll be able actually to show you the steps that you go through to resolve computer problems. And if you're not where you can watch it right now, that's fine. You can watch it at your convenience shortly after the show's over. It'll be up there on our Facebook page. You can get there one of two ways. Either go to our website, afasterpc.com. We have a link that says listen to a Faster PC radio. If you click on that, it'll take you to our Facebook page, or go to Facebook and search for a Faster PC. We also wanted to remind you that in the shop, we have technicians standing by today to work on computers and resolve computer problems. We're at 7190 South US 1, and our number in the office is 772 878 5978. And of course, we're here to answer your questions. Well, your computer questions, and we could answer other questions, but we're here specifically to answer computer questions. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC. Yes, you do. And we are back ready to answer your questions. And we're going to actually answer a question that came in over on our Facebook page. And by the way, you can type your questions into the Facebook page or YouTube video. If you're in the comment section of the Facebook video or the YouTube video, or again, call the show 772-340-1590. But Mike on Facebook asks, what is the best way to keep my computer running good as it did day one? I know Macs stay clean. Is there any way to keep Windows clean? And by the way, I don't know that Macs, stay quite as clean, but one of the things that happens with Windows computers is that people install a whole bunch of programs. And Macs, by the way, by default, you can't install programs except through the Apple Store. You can change that setting, but a lot of people don't know how to do it. And people typically maybe don't clutter up their computer quite as much with a Mac. With a Windows-based computer, if you're in S mode, then you need to install things through the Microsoft Store or take the computer out of S mode, which again, not everyone knows how to do, but not every computer comes in S mode. And the computers that don't come in S mode, again, S mode is a secure mode where you need to install programs through the Microsoft Store. Well, really, what it does is it's a way of monetizing programs, and Microsoft's doing it, Apple's doing it. They want you to go through the Microsoft Store or through the Apple Store. Why? Because they make a little bit of money on each software, including software that would ordinarily be free. There's software that would ordinarily be free outside of the Microsoft Store that you actually have to pay for if you get it in the Microsoft Store. Not a lot, maybe $1, but it's enough to cover the expense of putting it into the Microsoft Store and whatever Microsoft charges to make that available. But as you install programs on your computer, many of those programs will, first of all, they're going to take up some room on the hard drive, but they also will add themselves to startup. Many programs add themselves to startup. So I'll switch over to a full screen and just show how you can actually look with Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11. You can go into the Task Manager, and in the Task Manager, there's a Startup tab. So not only last segment we were looking at the percentage of various components that were being used, their utilization, the CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk throughput utilization. But what we're going to do is go to Startup. One thing I like to do is sort by status, whether it's enabled or disabled. And you will see several things that are listed here. And what we'll want to do is we'll actually want to go through the list and determine whether these things, and you see I have a lot of things that are enabled, but I have a lot of things that are disabled also. And so you want to go through the list and just do a search of what is there. You see Spotify comes up quite a bit, Skype, I mean, if you're always using Skype and you want to be able to receive calls in Skype all the time when your computer's on, you'd want to keep that on. But Groove Monitor, Nero Backup, a lot of things that I don't need to have running at startup that I've actually turned off, and I can run those when I want to. And now there are some features, like I have a program that requires Java. Java does need to be updated, and this is a Java update scheduler. It's a very important security thing. If there's an update available, I need to install it almost immediately. So this is important. You see Microsoft Edge, it snuck in here into the startup. I'm going to take that out of startup because I don't want Microsoft Edge loading in startup. And again, you want to just go through here. If you're not sure what the programs are, you can actually search for them, and you can search and see whether these programs are programs that you want to have running at startup or need to have running at startup. And you can actually take things out of startup that don't work or that you don't need in startup. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to have access to the program. I can still launch Edge if I wanted to. I could still launch the Adobe software or the Microsoft software, the Nero software. I can launch any of these programs that are out of startup, Mailwasher, Adobe Acrobat. I can launch any of these that I want to. They're just not loading at startup. So that's one of the things when you have programs loading, and these will make the biggest impact if you have a platter hard drive. If you have an SSD drive, you probably won't notice this as much, but with an SSD drive, with a platter drive, your computer, we've seen computers that take maybe 5 or 10 minutes when you turn them on to actually get to the desktop and have everything loaded because of all the things that are loading. So either you don't install the extra software, or at least if you are going to install it because maybe you want it on your computer, make sure you go in and double check and make sure that you're not loading things that you don't need to have loaded. And we are going to the lines. Welcome to Faster PC Live Technical Support, Daniel. How can we help you today?
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
On Microsoft Defender, is that a complete substitute for, like, for instance, Norton? Because Norton says they're internet security, and I think they do a little bit more than just antivirus.
Yeah, so some versions of Norton do more than just antivirus. Some versions will have an enhanced firewall. Again, the Microsoft Defender firewall is doing a good job as well. For Microsoft or Norton will have some plugins for web browsing, and with the plugins, I mean, are they beneficial? Well, I personally wouldn't use them because, I mean, what I've seen is one thing, they have their own search engine. Well, what are they doing on what is almost everyone doing on their search engine? They're actually providing advertisements on their search engine. And so, it's one thing you may want to try one time, and maybe I'll do this as a demonstration one time, is just going to different search engines and searching for the same thing. It's interesting what you'll see. And one thing I've seen is that some of the even like Yahoo and Bing and maybe even Norton will provide you more ads than Google will provide sometimes. So so I wouldn't put a lot of stock in that. One thing that we do recommend, let me just launch a clean window of Firefox, and I'll just show you the browser protection that we use. Is we use Malwarebytes Browser Guard, and we also use uBlock Origin. And these are freely available whether you have Chrome, Edge, Firefox. They're freely available. Vivaldi's another Chromium variant. By the way, Edge and Chrome and Vivaldi are all based on the same core, which is chromium. And but anyway, this uBlock origin is a good ad block protection, and also Malwarebytes Browser Guard does protect from ads as well as malicious websites. So those are two browser protection plugins that I would put up against any paid antivirus plugins. These are, by the way, free. Uh, the uBlock doesn't really advertise anything. The Malwarebytes Browser Guard, they're going to try to get you to pay for Malwarebytes, which, by the way, is a perfectly good program to buy. And it's something that would be beneficial. Now, Norton may also have, depending on your version, may also have a VPN, and in that case, a VPN would be beneficial. If you're in a public location, maybe you're at a hotel or you're at Starbucks or McDonald's or Taco Bell or someplace that, at an airport, you're connecting to an unsecure public Wi-Fi. The things that you type, I mean, we just had a customer not too long ago that had, that went on a vacation and came back and had their bank accounts hacked. Well, you have to be cautious, and I don't know that this happened with them, but you have to be cautious when you connect to a public Wi-Fi. You don't want to go to your bank website and type in your username and password. So if you were using the Norton VPN, that would be beneficial. We've also demonstrated and shown the Proton VPN, and that there's a free version of that and there's a paid version of that, um, and that does a good job. We also have talked about how some routers, if you have your own router for your house or your office network, you may be able to configure VPN. And there's a open source VPN called OpenVPN that is available in many current models of routers, including TP-Link and some of the Netgear routers. I wouldn't be surprised if Linksys has it as well. But you can actually configure your own VPN and you can connect to this. And I have many VPN set up to various customers' locations where I can VPN into their system. And it's a secure way to connect to your house, but it also is creating your own VPN that doesn't cost you anything. But many of the other VPNs, if you're going with Norton, if you're going with Malwarebytes, Firefox has a VPN. There are many other services, McAfee, all the antivirus companies are going to have a VPN. Some of them will give you a certain amount of bandwidth on the VPN for free, and then they'll charge you for additional bandwidth. But the VPN is a useful feature, especially if you're connecting from an unsecure network. Again, public Wi-Fi, if you're at a hotel, if you're at an airport, if you're at a restaurant, and you're connecting to their unsecure network, it is very possible that the hacker doesn't even have to be there. They can come there, install a device that just captures keystrokes and leave that device. I mean, if they know a little bit about electricity, they know how to tap into the electrical system. They can have a device that's pre-configured. They can come in, they can attach it, and it'll connect, and they'll be able actually to capture every keystroke that is typed in at that location. And this can be scary if you're thinking about typing in your username and password. So using a VPN, what it does is it creates a virtual private network. It encrypts what you're typing so that what you're typing is not able to, the hacker is not able to capture that.
I do know that Norton does have a VPN.
Yes.
But regardless of the VPN, do you think it would be safe for me to disable the Norton and try the Microsoft Defender?
Yes, it is safe, and the tests that I've seen, including the tests that this one cybersecurity expert showed, where and they've present this cybersecurity expert. If you missed it earlier in the show, showed actually multiple threats that most of the providers didn't protect, and the number one the number one detector was Microsoft. And we're coming to the end of today's show, but if you've missed any part of this show or just want to listen to it again or watch it again, because you can do that at our Facebook page and YouTube channel, you can not only hear the show, but also see the show. And when we've described and shown you how to resolve computer problems, you can actually see that and watch it over and over again at our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. You can get there by going to our website at fasterpc.com and clicking on the links. We're open today until 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, we're open from 9 to 5. And next Saturday, we'll be open from 9 to 2. We want to invite you to listen to our church radio show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. here on WPSL. The title to tomorrow's sermon is, Will Abortion End If or When Roe v. Wade is Overturned? You can listen to other sermons on our church website, covenanttabernacle.com, or our church Facebook page, Covenant Tabernacle World Outreach Center. You can find a Faster PC's Facebook page and YouTube channel by searching for a Faster PC on Facebook and YouTube, or by going to our website and clicking on the links. While there, you can actually watch the show, not only hear the show, but also watch the show and see the steps that we go through to actually resolve computer problems. A Faster PC is conveniently located at 7190 South US 1 on the east side of US 1, just north of Rio Mar. We're also on the web at www.afasterpc.com. Again, that's afasterpc.com. And you can reach us at 772-878-5978. Again, 772-878-5978. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Before God created civil government, he created family. Before he created even the church, God created family. Families play a vital role in training the next generation. Commit today to nurturing and supporting families, especially your own. Families that are committed to God and each other can play a vital role in transforming our churches, cities, states, and nation.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.